Hello, good morning. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Owen James. This is your Rangers news update, guys. Look, how many times have we come out of a Europa League night and sat there and celebrated and been happy and just elated at the quality of the performance in Europe and just gone, that's just fantastic. Why can't we do that domestically? It's happened on a number of occasions, even last season when the squad wasn't great, was it? I mean, let's face it, our squad wasn't fantastic last season at all by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, a lot of people called it one of the worst Rangers teams of all time. And now people are saying, well, actually, do you know what? This is probably the worst Rangers team of all time. I've got to say, look, I'm not going to blame Danny Rule at all for what happened last night. Because it isn't his fault to some degree. He, at the end of the day, he has become stuck with this squad that is so far below what is acceptable for a team of our level that it's just incredible. It is incredible. I mean, honestly, look, there's no point going on about him realistically because he's gone now. But Kevin Thelwell, what he has done to this club, him and Russell Martin have set this club back years. Absolute years. I mean, look, last season, like I said, was not good. The team last season was not a very good team at all. At all. But this team's worse. This team is genuinely not even a little bit worse. It is like 10 times worse than last season's. He's filled the team with just lower English Championship, lower English League One team quality players who, look, domestically can bluff it and get by with some quality moments from some of the quality in the squad. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are one or two bits of quality within the squad, but it's kind of lost in amongst all the other rubbish, isn't it? It's like trying to find a diamond in a pool of shite. You're going to struggle to find it. But at this level, at the Europa League level, when you're playing against, good teams, no matter what, this is obviously, the secondary competition in Europe, and I get that it's not the Champions League, but it's quite worrying what would have happened to us if we'd got through to the Champions League. But yeah, that would have been quite scary, actually. But, at this level, you get found out. You get hugely found out. And to be sitting here in December, pretty much out of the Europa League, sitting right near the bottom of this Europa League phase is just embarrassing. It genuinely is embarrassing. I mean, look, let's start with the team from last night. This was the team that he named. I've got to say, I do slightly criticise Danny for that. I don't think that this is a particularly great team. I think, defensively he is limited slightly, obviously, with all the injuries. Obviously John Souttar's out and Derek Cornelius is out, for example. But look, Butland in goal, decent. But I thought last night actually was quite bad. His distribution was poor, and I think he was partly to blame for the first goal. Late on into stoppage time, why not clear the ball? Why not clear the ball? Why not, just clear the ball to one of our players, hold it up, slow it down, whatever, rather than boot the ball the length of the pitch to give it back to their goalkeeper to then start them off on an attack. I didn't get it. The defence, we'll get to the defence in a minute. I thought the defence tonight was absolutely diabolical. It really genuinely was. I thought the midfield got overrun. Within that midfield, look, I genuinely don't kind of get what he was aiming for. I mean, Aaron seemed to be kind of a right wing back stroke right midfielder. Raskin and Barron in the middle. Gassama the other side with Danilo. It was sort of a 5-3-2 at one point, I think, or a 3-4-3, or basically it was three at the back with Danilo and Miovski up front together. Gassama was diabolical. He was poor. Was taken off. He was angry to be going off, but mate, he did nothing in the game, so I don't see why you were so angry about it. I thought Finlay Curtis, when he came on, did more than Gassama done in the rest of the game. Reports that Villarreal are interested in Gassama. Let him go. Sell him. He started off the season being one of the better players and one of the players that you kind of look at and go, yeah, he's going to be a good footballer. He was dire tonight. Dire. Subs, you look at the bench tonight: Sterling, Stewart, Adamson, Curtis, Cameron, Moore, Asgard, Chimiti. Lyle Cameron, what has he got to do to get a game? What has he got to do to get a game? And, Thelo Asgard comes on again and does absolutely nothing. Absolutely, genuinely nothing at all of any use other than look pretty with his nice hair. And that's about all he did. Chimiti, again, did nothing other than be shite. Moore, I think, was unlucky not to get a game tonight. I would have perhaps gone for him in a more advanced role in that midfield, try and get some talent up there, even play him off one of the strikers, maybe. I don't know. I genuinely looked at that team tonight, and if you ask me, that team tonight, where's the quality? Where's the talent in that team? Miovski, I think, he's starting to look like a player. But you look at that team, and he is the only one. Even Raskin was awful again tonight. I honestly think he's great to the point where he doesn't want to be anymore. His head's been turned. He thinks he's going to get a move somewhere. He can't be arsed. Genuinely can't be arsed. He knows he's going to probably go to the World Cup anyway, so what's the point in trying? The defence tonight. I mean, look, let's start with actually, let's get a positive on this, shall we? Bojan Miovski's goal gives us the lead in the first half. I thought first half we weren't that bad. I thought first half we were all right, actually. I mean, they were unlucky not to get the lead, when Yusuf has that chance. But, and again, in that defence from that wide, doesn't Fernandez come across and close him down? God only knows. But yeah, we get the goal. It was initially disallowed for offside. It wasn't offside. It was a fantastic finish. It was a predatorial finish by Miovski. Obviously, the big worry now is that Miovski goes off injured. Yet another bloody injury. Why do we get all these injuries? Why are we constantly getting injuries? You've got to be looking at training methods, fitness, strength, conditioning. Why is it that we're getting injuries? And Miovski being out is huge. The guy scores 3 goals in 2 games, and he's starting to look like the goal scorer, the in-the-box predator that we've been missing. And then he gets injured. And we've got Chimiti and Danilo. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. January can't come fast enough. We need strikers. We need defenders. We need something. We just desperately need something. Hugely need something. Going back to the defence tonight, though, I thought the defence tonight was absolutely just... I'll be honest with you, when we were defending, I was expecting to hear the Benny Hill music playing in the background, that music, because it just was comic cuts. It was complete comic cuts. It was, look, I've got a dog. He's a Labrador. He's a bit crazy. When he's near water, he gets this, I'm going to do dumb shit look in his eye. And all night tonight, our defence had that, I'm going to do dumb shit look in their eyes. Of the defenders, I actually thought Giga was probably the best defender. I thought he actually played quite well tonight. He got Tav out of jail a couple of times. He got Fernandez out of jail a couple of times. Got a couple of crucial tackles, crucial blocks. I thought Giga was okay, actually. I didn't think he did too badly. He obviously has got the Hibs game, and then he goes off to AFCON, which is a bit of a concern considering we're completely lacking in central defenders. Dujon Sterling hopefully is able to play soon. Obviously, he got on tonight. Look, Fernandez. Let's start with Fernandez. I just thought Fernandez looked every bit of what the Peterborough fans have told us he is. He's a player not ready to start playing games. He's a player who needs more development, more work, and he's a backup. That's what he is. The second goal, he's not totally to blame for that second goal. James Tavernier plays a huge part in that goal. And I thought James Tavernier was absolutely disgusting tonight. He was an absolute waste of time tonight. Absolute waste of a jersey. But that second goal where Fernandez is, I don't know what Fernandez is looking at, whether he's seen somebody in the crowd that he likes, or whether he's trying to spot his mum up in the Rangers fans, or whether he's, I don't know, thinking, has he left the gas on, or has he locked the back door when he left the house yesterday morning? I don't know. But he looks just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, oh, look at that pretty cloud. I don't know what he's doing. He's away with the fairies, just genuinely away with the fairies. And Tav just doesn't cut the cross out. He does nothing to cut the cross out. Why is he not throwing his body in the front, trying to block that cross off, stopping that goal at source? I don't know what you'll say is, oh, there's Owen blaming Tavernier again. Well, tell me, look back at the goal. Tell me, why doesn't he block the cross? Why doesn't he block? And how many times does he go missing? And his legs are gone. He can't get back anymore. He's done. And please, anybody who thinks he should be given a new contract, seriously, put the drink down, put the buck fast down, stop smoking whenever you're smoking, get a sense of reality. This man was finished 3 seasons ago. He's even more finished now than he ever was. His legs are gone. He's not a Rangers player. I don't want him anywhere near this club next season. He is a big part of what is wrong at this football club. No leadership, not a captain, never was a captain. not good enough to play at this level. And look, I get it. You know, people go, he scores goals. He scores penalties. Take his penalties away from him. He's nothing. He's absolutely nothing. He was dire tonight. Absolutely dire. I think I gave him 2 or 3 out of 10. But that defence just needs so much. In fact, they just all need to go. They all need to go. I know there's a saying about don't chuck the baby out with the bathwater. We need to chuck the baby out, the bathwater and the bath and the bathroom and demolish the whole house and start again, I think, when it comes to the defence. We need a right back, we need a left back, we need a centre half, we need about 3 or 4 centre halves. Look, you know, it's not going to happen in January. I get that. You know, we're not going to be able to go and sign 4 centre halves, a right back and a left back in January. You're not going to sign 6 players, but we do need to sign, I think, defenders as a matter of urgency in January who can actually bloody defend with a bit of physicality about them, a bit of fight about them, a bit of something about them, because that defence tonight was bloody awful. Absolutely bloody awful. You know, it's difficult. You know, it's difficult to find a positive from that. From the night. Obviously, the goal from Miovski, but then Miovski goes up in. It's kind of, I don't know, typical bloody Rangers, isn't it? At this moment in time, you find a positive, you think, great, positive. Let's celebrate that positive. And then something happens to that positive, isn't it? You know, Miovski gets injured. Giga starts playing well. He's gone off to AFCON. It's just, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? It's kind of what being a Rangers fan is at this moment in time. I suppose the funny thing is Celtic lost 3-0 tonight and look an absolute shambles. Good luck, St Mirren. Hope you beat them in the League Cup final. But, you know, this team needs a lot of work. And like I said, Russell Mine, Kevin Thelwell, you've got so much to answer for. So much to answer for. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching the channel. If you enjoy the content, it is free, guys. Remember, please obviously smash that like. Continue to subscribe. Obviously, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And obviously ring the notification bell so you never miss out on any of the content. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.